As of this hour, it sure looks like Elon Musk has managed to bring Twitter to the brink of collapse in just 3 weeks. The latest drama, a wave of employees resigned today rather than commit to Musk's hardcore culture ultimatum. And platformer Zoe Schiffer reports Twitter's offices are now locked down for fear of sabotage from current employees. Back with us tonight to discuss, my dear friend and colleague, Jake Ward. Jake, what in the hell's happening?
Steph, what is going on right now? We are, I'm spending all this time on Twitter at the moment, and it's such an odd scene. Everyone is saying goodbye to one another, and these are power users of Twitter, the kinds of people that you would really expect to know. They're all talking to each other as if this ship is going to go down at any moment. They're saying goodbye, things like who's going to get the last tweet on here, that sort of thing. So I absolutely, it is all happening tonight. As you mentioned, at this hour, everyone is locked out of the building itself. It's not at all clear why that is. Certainly, it seems to follow on a lot of the paranoia that we have seen out of Elon Musk in recent days. We know that his teams have been actually combing the internal communications of the employees to look for people saying disparaging things about Musk and his leadership and then firing them. We know at least a dozen people have been fired in that manner so far. And now suddenly, with everyone locked out, it is not a good look for this guy. At this point, we know that critical infrastructure teams are out, have resigned, or been let go. And if an outage actually takes place, if something goes technically wrong in that place, it's not clear they're going to have enough people on staff to bring it back up. It really is an open question. You asked it. Could it last overnight? We don't know.
So is that the thing, right, when we're saying Twitter's going down tonight? Is it because there's not enough employees working there to operate the system?
Let me put it this way. As we understand it, at this hour, there are all of these various teams, right, responsible for various parts of it. And a lot of those teams are either down to one or two people or gone entirely. One reason that people may actually have been locked out of the building, this is one idea that's going around, is that the badge access team was let go, and that wound up locking everybody else out. Imagine the same thing taking place on something like the teams responsible for uptime on the site, keeping it going, right? Running a website is extremely difficult, especially when it has 250 million users the way that Twitter does. If something goes wrong and there aren't the plumbers and electricians there to fix it, right? I'm using that phrase just because these are the kinds of crucial jobs they are. If they're not around to fix it, you could literally be clicking on there and start to get an error message. Maybe it doesn't load at all. That's the kind of thing we're actually looking at right now. It's an existential threat to one of the most important sites in the world.
No plumbers when the toilets could be clogged for 250 million users. All right, the other story that we are following, obviously, is the fallout from FTX's bankruptcy. I want to start by sharing your latest reporting on the class action lawsuit.
You know what? I'm in.
Tom Brady, Gisele Bundchen,
Are you in?
Larry David, Naomi Osaka, and Steph Curry are among the celebrities accused in a class action lawsuit of being part of a, quote, fraudulent scheme designed to take advantage of unsophisticated investors that led to $11 billion in damages.
It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so.
All stemming from their involvement in promoting crypto exchange FTX. FTX's founder and CEO Sam Bankman-Fried was until recently the darling of the crypto community. His company, once valued at more than $32 billion, is now seeking bankruptcy protection.
We're talking about one of the larger bankruptcies we've seen in a long time.
The FTX founder, also named in the lawsuit, resigned as CEO as his company collapsed. He did not reply to NBC's request for comment, but in a direct message exchange with a reporter wrote, "F regulators, they make everything worse." We also did not hear back from representatives for celebrities named in the lawsuit for appearing in ads like this.
With FTX, I have everything I need to buy, sell, and trade crypto safely.
But the lawsuit calls FTX's platform a Ponzi scheme and says of the defendants, none performed any due diligence.
These celebrities all should have known that when they took this risk, that if these are unregistered securities, they're looking at liability for all of the damages.
Bankman-Fried has been accused of moving billions in customers' funds without their permission to another one of his companies. His exchange then faced what was akin to a run on the bank, and now customers can't get their money out.
That money I had put aside for my granddaughter so I can use for Christmas, and now I have to figure out another way to do it.
The new lawsuit now calls for accountability from FTX's big-name endorsers. Jake Ward, NBC News, San Francisco.
Sure, F regulators, they make everything worse. That's like saying F the umpire, they make the game worse. But without the umpire, you're out of the game entirely. Let's talk about these class action lawsuits because they're going after these big-name celebrities, but they can't go to the SEC, right? They can't go to the government because all of these things were unregulated, right? People went in with a true buyer beware. The government's not here to bail you out.
Well, that's absolutely right. There isn't any of the insurance, right, the FDIC backing or any of that you would expect from a conventional form of wealth in this country. But it's also true, Steph, that we have seen celebrity endorsers get into trouble in the past. And in this case, with the SEC, you remember Kim Kardashian earlier this year wound up having to pay about $1.26 million in a fine because she had not revealed her relationship with the cryptocurrency companies that she was representing on Instagram. Well, in this case, what's funny is that at that time, there was a statement put out by the SEC saying, celebrity endorsers should be reminded that it is not okay to be endorsing this stuff without revealing your relationship here. It does not seem at all clear that this long list of celebrities who helped to get so many people interested into it, helped to make FTX a household name, it's not clear at all that they internalized what the SEC was saying at that time.
FTX hired maybe one of the biggest bankruptcy expert on the planet to take over the company. He stepped in and took over Enron after their disaster. He put out a statement saying this place is an absolute fiasco. He has never seen something so bad in his life. What could it mean for this company? What could the ramifications mean? Because they didn't just have celebrities endorsing it and bros trading it. They had the biggest investors on Wall Street backing them.
I think that's absolutely right. We are seeing here not just the dollars and cents collapse of billions of dollars in wealth. I think what this is turning out to be is a broad indictment of a culture that was run on fear of missing out, on the narrative around this thing, as opposed to the hard math of it. It's truly an indictment of the judgment of people that we have come to rely on when it comes to investment stuff.
If fear of missing out is your trading strategy, you're going to lose. Jake Ward, thank you. And if you want to know more about all that's happening with FTX and Twitter, Jake's got a special for you. Hellscape, Inside the Meltdowns at Twitter and FTX is airing on NBC News Now. You don't want to miss it.